Join me once again here on Talkin Fight for another episode of Boxing News Today. We've got quite a few stories. I hope you enjoy my new setup. I'm going for that fancy new iPhone look, if you will. Anyway, let's have a quick look at the headlines today from around the world. Let's have a quick look and see what's coming at number one. Oh, yes. Oleksandr Usyk, getting into the tech business, quite frankly. Oleksandr Usyk signs sparring partners through Ready to Fight app. Apparently, he and his team have been busy. Unified heavyweight champion and divisional number one, Oleksandr Usyk, has had a solid response to his open call out for sparring partners. His upcoming fight against Tyson Fury is not only the first heavyweight undisputed clash since 1999, but it's also the first time in boxing that a specially dedicated online application fully supports seeking sparring partners for a champion. The offer has been published on Ready to Fight, a boxing social platform co-founded by Usyk. It aids athletes in finding sparring partners and managers. The RTF team believes such a platform can revolutionize the industry and open doors for talented boxers worldwide. Good stuff for Oleksandr Usyk, without a doubt. He says this recruitment process through Ready to Fight is simple. First of all, a boxer looking for sparring partners or his agent or team manager creates an offer with the required parameters and publishes it on the platform. A candidate should register in the app and respond to the offer. A candidate must fill in all the parameters in his profile and upload videos of his fights or sparring sessions. Based on this, our team makes a selection. After agreeing terms, the sparring partner arrives at training camp. As for our offer, we pay for the flight and help with visas. Wow, fantastic stuff. Alrighty. In other news, I see Top Rank has announced a featherweight division matchup on March 2nd. Let's have a quick look here. The featherweight division will take center stage in a high-octane world title doubleheader on Saturday, March 2nd at the Turning Stone Resort Casino in Verona, New York. In the main event, Uzbek Phenom Otabek Kolmatov will fight Raymond Ford for the vacant WBA featherweight world title. This duel of unbeaten southpaws will see the WBA's number one and number two contenders making their inaugural world title appearances. In the co-feature, Luis Alberto Alvarado Lopez defends his IBF World Crown title against Japanese contender Raya Abe. Kolmatov versus Ford, Lopez versus Abe will headline a stack card streaming live exclusively in the U.S. on ESPN Plus. Promoted by Top Rank, tickets are going on sale within 24 hours and can be purchased at the Turning Stone Resort Casino box office as well. So let's have a quick read as to what Bob Arum has to say. Kolmatov and Ford are deserving challengers for the WBA world title, and this is a true 50-50 fight, said Bob Arum. Lopez believes he is the top featherweight in the world, and I know he'll want to make a huge statement against a tough guy in Abe. The fans at Turning Stone Resort will be in for a real treat, yeah, without a doubt. Kolmatov, by the way, he's 11-0, 10 knockouts. He's a former international amateur champion. He debuted as a pro in August 2021 and secured 9 impressive victories before the year ended. The 25-year-old southpaw stepped up to face then unbeaten Armenian Arum Grigorian in March 2022, decisioning him after 12 dominant rounds. His last fight, Kolmatov traveled to enemy territory to battle undefeated British contender Thomas Patrick Ward. The Uzbek powerhouse dropped Ward 3 times, forcing his corner to throw in the towel in the 5th round. Wow. Ford, by the way, he's 14-0 and won 7 knockouts, was a 2-time national Golden Gloves champ before entering the paid ranks in March of 2019. In 15 pro fights, he's only had 1 blemish, a draw against then unbeaten Aaron Perez in March 2021. Since then, the 24-year-old native of Camden, New Jersey, has gone 6-0 with 3 knockouts, including wins over undefeated prospects Edward Vasquez and Richard Medina, as well as a victory over former world champion Jesse Magdaleno. Ford dropped Magdaleno twice en route to a 12-round decision win. By the way, Lopez, I mentioned earlier, he's 29-2, and Abe is 25-3-1. Good night of fighting for Upper New York State. Ryan Garcia chooses Devin Haney for his next fight and asks team to begin talks. That would be Oscar De La Hoya, I suppose. Let's have a quick look here. Ryan Garcia has alerted his team to start discussions with Devin Haney for a fight. Devin has confirmed on social media, saying these are facts. It's unclear whether true boxing fans, besides Ryan's 11 million Instagram followers, will be interested in purchasing a fight between him and Haney, though. Ryan is doing Haney a massive favor by agreeing to fight him next because the hulking 165-pound Bay Area native had a few options for a big payday fight that is he and his dad Bill have been trying to get. It remains to be seen if this fight can get put together without the Saudis' help, because if Ryan and Haney insist on a huge guaranteed purse of many millions, I remember reading the other day that Bill Haney had said roughly, words to the effect, he wanted 20 million. Anyway, so if Saudi money comes through, the promoter and DAZN could talk or balk, not wanting to take the gamble of losing money. Anyway, selling a fight between Ryan and Haney will be viewed as another money grab, like Ryan's fight with Gervonta Davis, which was not remotely competitive. It looked like one of the Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s exhibition matches against a hapless YouTuber. Well, this is courtesy of BoxingNews24.com, by the way. Some fans would say it's too soon for Ryan Garcia to jump back in with a world champion level fighter after his performance against Oscar Duarte on December 2nd, which is every bit as bad as his poor effort against Gervonta Davis. There's no improvement in Ryan's game. Wow, crushing. Well, let's see what happens. All right, fight fans, let's have a quick look here. We don't care what Mauricio Sulaiman had to say. Featherweight twin bill. Did I mention Marlon Tapalas has arrived in Japan? The Filipino WBA IBF 122-pound champ, Tapalas, 37-3, arrived in Japan to participate in an ultimate unification bout with WBC, WBO counterpart, Monster Naya Inoue, 25-0. And that's to take place at the Anike Arena in Tokyo next week. Having dethroned Murjan Akhmadaliev to rest the WBA and IBF belts in April, Tapalas will welcome a big payday and an opportunity to acquire all the 4 belts with his high motivation. Holy cow, man. Marlon reportedly trained 2 months in Las Vegas and then moved to his native Philippines to work a month more, having engaged in more than 100 sparring sessions in total. Tapala said, "I'm in very good shape and wish to win over Inoue clearly. I know Inoue is an excellent boxer with a high IQ, but I'll do everything possible to be victorious. Time will tell." All righty, we're moving very close to the big fight in Saudi Arabia in a few days. One of those fighting, Dmitry Bivol, says he sees Canelo Alvarez as still the best fighter in the super middleweight division because he has all the belts, which puts him ahead of David Benavidez and Dave Morrell Jr. In WBA light heavyweight champion Bivol's view, Benavidez and Bivol need to prove themselves by capturing belts before he can consider either of them to be the best in the 168-pound division. Morrell has a better chance of grabbing the reins from Canelo than Benavidez, as he doesn't look massive for the 168-pound division like the Mexican monster. Benavidez looks like a cadaver in making weight. Again, courtesy of BoxingNews24.com. Great quotes. Yes, Joseph Parker. He's looking to upset Deontay Wilder and derail mega fight plans for the new year. Yeah, without a doubt. Let's have a look here. Joseph Parker is optimistic he can defeat former WBC heavyweight champ Deontay Wilder on December 23rd, as I said earlier, taking place at the Kingdom Arena in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Big fight. I think it's 12 p.m. Eastern time on the 23rd of December. The primary attractions at this event are Anthony Joshua, 26-3, and Wilder, 43-2-1, 42 knockouts, by the way, both of whom are predicted to win in order to build up a mega fight in Saudi Arabia in March. March 9th, apparently, they got a date set. Defeating Wilder and severely damaging what's left of his career, Parker would aim to ruin those plans. Parker's matchup with Wilder is perfect because Wilder, 38, from Alabama, has been mainly idle over the past few years, with the exception of a one-round knockout victory over his former sparring partner, Robert Helenius, in October of last year. Given the money he's accumulated from his 3 lucrative fights with Tyson Fury, it's perhaps no surprise that Wilder hasn't felt the need to stay busy. Parker, a 31-year-old boxer from New Zealand, has a chance to win if he can get in the ring Rusty Wilder into the second half of their bout. Parker claims the former Tyson Fury opponent and Wilder conqueror has given him some straightforward advice to avoid getting knocked out in their 12-round fight. "I've got good momentum. I feel extremely confident going into this fight. It's that simple. Don't get hit by Wilder's right hand. said Joseph Parker in the media reports coming out of Saudi Arabia. Let's see what else. Oh, yes, Jarrell Miller. He's saying some stuff. Jarrell Miller wants to see an All-American heavyweight matchup as a result of these fights taking place in Saudi Arabia. He's looking for Deontay Wilder, obviously, to win, and realistically bring the belts back to America for an All-American. So, in other words, despite, as I just mentioned, the shortcomings that Wilder has, being a bit of ring rust, Miller will be fighting on this card as well, and his opponent comes in the form of Daniel Dubois from the UK, and that's a 50-50 if you ask me, but we'll get to those odds in a few minutes. All in all, Miller, he's 26-0-1, by the way, 22 knockouts, is not a fan of Wilder. In fact, he loathes him. Still, he's hoping that he has a good outing. If he does, Miller believes both he and Wilder can bring back the glory days of American boxing, which would be good for, quite frankly, ratings. I can't stand Deontay Wilder, he said during a recent interview with BoxingScene.com, but I need him to keep winning, and I keep winning, and we do an American showdown. Provided Wilder wins his bout, he's slated to face Anthony Joshua in the first quarter of 2024. Joshua, who appears in the main event, would also have to win his respective bout against Otto Wallen in order for that to happen. And that, quite frankly, is a great debate as well. So let's have a quick look, see who's fighting who here. Let's have a quick look. Anthony Joshua versus Otto Wallen. Let's see on their undercard, because they are the main event, I suppose. Wilder versus Parker. Wilder's record 43-2-1. Parker's record 33-3. There's no belts at stake in that particular fight. Dmitry Bivol, as I mentioned earlier, going up against Lyndon Arthur from England, light heavyweight division. Bivol's record 21-0. Arthur's record 23-1. Belts at stake, yes, there are. WBA light heavyweight title. Jay Apatea from, I believe, New Zealand, 23-0, who gave up his IBF belt, will go against Ellis Zorro, who's 17-0, by the way, for the Ring Magazine Cruiserweight title. So good stuff. Actually, I think Jay's Australian, not New Zealand. Anyway, Phil Hrgovic going up against Mark Demori in a heavyweight battle. Hrgovic, 16-0. I didn't think so. I thought he lost one. Anyway, Demori, 41-2-2. This is courtesy of sportingnews.com. The 2016 Olympic bronze medalist Hrgovic, 16-0. Turned pro in 2017, known as sparring partner of David Hay and Kubrat Pulev. The Croatian beat Dempsey McKean in his last fight, August, via technical knockout. Demori, if you're interested, because I was curious who he was, 41-2-2, turned pro 2004. The Viking has fought all over, competing for Don King from 2007 to 2015. Demori lost against David Hay in 2016 and has won 11 in a row since. His last contest was a unanimous decision win in September against Michael Sigalarki. Wow, all right. Here we are, Daniel Dubois versus Jarrell Miller, heavyweight clash. Dubois, 19-2, Miller, 26-0-1. No belts at stake, though. As I said, Jarrell Miller is looking, obviously, for a big victory here. He's known as Big Baby. And it was set to face Anthony Joshua, as we all know, for the unified title back in 2019. However, Miller got removed from the fight after testing positive for multiple banned substances. Miller would test positive again in 2020, and he has won 3 fights since 2022, his last pro contest being a technical knockout against Lucas Brown in March. In June, he faced Antonio Zepeda in an underwhelming exhibition fight. Frank Sanchez going up against Junior Fa in another heavyweight clash here. Sanchez, 23-0. Fa, 20-2. And there's no belts at stake in that particular battle. The one I'm looking forward to, Arslanbek Makhmudov versus Ajit Kabayel. Another heavyweight clash. Makhmudov, 18-0. Kabayel, 23-0. No belts at stake, but this is going to be a great fight. So, as I said, 12 p.m., noon Eastern time for that fight. And let's see what Bob Arum has to say. He believes former 2-time heavyweight champ Anthony Joshua has bit off more than he can chew, picking Otto Wallen as his opponent, and is heading towards defeat when they meet in the main event. Arum is convinced that 34-year-old Joshua, as I said, 26-3, 23 knockouts, will suffer a shocking defeat, which will spoil his and his promoter Eddie Hearn's grand plans for next March in a monster fight against the bronze bomber Deontay Wilder. All right, there you go. And let's see what Eddie Hearn has to say. During a conversation with Fight Hype, matchroom promoter Eddie Hearn discusses all the talk surrounding a prospect between Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua, including the narrative Wilder's team have been pushing about them not being keen on making the fight. Think about what you're saying, yeah? Hearn said, apparently, it's just all about the money, right? I just want to make some money out of Joshua, whatever. But also, I can't make money out of Joshua in small fights. I didn't make a lot of money out of Joshua fighting Franklin or Joshua fighting Hellenius. Like, not being funny, I've got a lot of money. I'm not interested in Joshua fighting for 5 million, 6 million, whatever it is. Nothing means nothing to me. I want Joshua to make 50 million, right? 2 or 3 times. And then we make a load of money. And guess what? In big fights, that's the level of money he's going to make. So what am I to do? Do I want money or do I not want money? I don't understand. I want him to fight Deontay Wilder because I believe if he beats him, and I believe that's financially the right fight for AJ, financially the right fight for me. So these guys really don't know what they're talking about. Wilder better be switched on because he'll lose to Joseph Parker on December 23rd. He can punch like a mule, but Joseph is up for the fight. And I know he's had his defeats and stuff like that, but coming out from a year, it's not going to be easy. And he better win because when he wins, and if we win, which I believe we will, we're going to fight next. And AJ's going to knock him out. All right. There you have it, fight fans. Appreciate it. Thanks for joining me. Appreciate it very much. I'm having a bit of difficulty technology-wise here. Oops, now I've really blown it. All right, I'll just have to end the fight screen here. We'll talk to you later.